Hello, welcome to Invictus Porsche. We've got this Porsche 911. This isn't just any Porsche 911, and in terms of where it ranks and sits amongst all the 911 since 1963, the Porsche 911, the 997 Generation 2, ultimately is the end of Porsche 911s being produced by Porsche, because after the 997 Generation 2, they became part of the umbrella group of VW, which is under VW, Audi, and the 911s lost a bit of a character, becoming slightly wider and longer, and some of the nimble characteristics and the raw characteristics of what these 911s were all about. Now, this 997.2 is finished in this spectacular aqua blue metallic Porsche color, which I think amongst all the colors that I've seen on Porsches is by far one of the best colors, and complemented with the 19-inch Carrera S alloys. From a specification point of view, it's not just the exterior body color, but also that the roof has got this hint of blue, which complements the aqua blue metallic incredibly well. How is the 997 Generation 2 different to the 997.1? Well, in many ways, the 997.2, by illustrating, starting right from the backside, which is the engine, this is where they've adopted a very new technology. Yes, the 911s in 1997, 1998 went from being air-cooled prior to that to being water-cooled, which is where you had the 996.1, 996.2 and the 997.1. They were water-cooled, and unfortunately those engines, a very small percentage of them suffered with scoring and the IMS bearing failure. Whereas in 2008, late 2008, starting in 2009, these engines became direct fuel injections, DFIs. They carried on the 3.8 litre DFI engine all the way up until the brand new spanking 911s. Well, the changes between the past two generations of the 911s were actually they became turbocharged, 3 litre turbocharged engine, where these are the 3.8 litre direct fuel injection engines. They are naturally aspirated. It's still the flat 6 boxer engine. This produces an incredible 385 brake horsepower, 420 Newton meters of torque, all very similar to the 911s that are after this, which is the Porsche 911 991.1, introduced in 2011. And on the backside of it, from an aesthetic point of view, this is all a very different car when you compare it to the 997.1, because you've got the LED headlights, you've got a more aggressive line running here, a more aggressive line running over here. And if you actually come to the front of the vehicle, it's got a completely different bumper on a 997 Generation 2 versus a 997.1. Of course, the headlights here are different as well. This is the xenon headlights, and the 997.1 also had xenons, but of course, you know, certain technological aspects of it from the inside of the headlights are different as well as having the LED daytime running lights. Now onto the inside. This has got the extended leather interior, so you've got leather, and the leather also on the dash being stitched as well. You've got the stitching, as you can see, running across here. You've got the sports seats. I mean, the inside is actually finished in this beautiful grey, which I think complements the aqua blue metallic incredibly well. You've got the smooth leather steering wheel, as well as the front seats are heated. And as I've mentioned, they are the sports seats, so they hug you and hold you incredibly well. And you've got the sports chrono package, which is the sports button there, the Sport Plus, and as well as having PSM control button there. A huge, massive change is also the PDK dual clutch transmission, and that dual clutch transmission takes the performance, the handling, and everything that Porsche 911 is all about to a completely different level. And if you're looking for something a bit practical, there's nothing better, as a matter of fact, than a Porsche 911. And I think the convertible definitely hits the sweet spot in that regard, because if you've got children, you don't need to worry about the sloping roof of a coupe. At the back of a convertible in a summer, it's actually quite a nice place to be. Now, enough of showing you the outside and the inside. Let's get behind that wheel, drive it, and tell you a little bit more about what is all this fuss about. So let's go. On the inside of any Porsche 911, it's actually a very rewarding experience just to sit in it and to kind of experience what the fuss of owning and driving a Porsche 911 is all about. And this is one of the things that I would like to be covering in this review, and to kind of explain why the Porsche 911 is such an amazing and an incredible product. And one of those reasons is, of course, practicality. The other reasons is, since 1963, the Porsche 911 as a brand has just evolved and improved and evolved and improved. And in terms of producing sports cars, yes, they produced amazing, sophisticated and just an incredible sports car. But imagine you've had all those years, year after year, to continuously improve, refine and make such an outstanding product. And that is just simply one of many reasons. But if you wanted any more reasons than that, I will be illustrating this as soon as I get on the road. And that being this incredible naturally aspirated sound that you get from these engines. I mean, boy oh boy, does it go, and it does go. And it continuously speeds and goes up from a top speed point of view to 186 miles per hour. The 3.8 litre naturally aspirated engine produces 385 brake horsepower, 420 newton meters of torque, and in terms of the 0 to 62 miles per hour, it does it in an incredible 4.9 seconds. What could you also be looking at this car from a miles per gallon point of view? MPG wise combined, you're looking at about 32, 33 miles per gallon, and on the motorway you could be looking at mid 30s. I mean, you could be doing slightly higher than that depending on just your way and style of driving. Hopefully so far what I've given you, I think, is enough reasons to want to fall in love with a Porsche. And the sound produced, again, is just rolls and it grunts and it does it, you know, at the right times and in the right moments. And it's just a joy to be able to drive something like this. And another really nice aspect of it, an attribute of it, is just how well it handles and corners, and just, you know, if you want it to stick to this line, it will do exactly that, precisely that as a job. And that's another beauty of the Porsche 911 as a brand, that the overall handling is a huge part of this brand. Let's drop it to second. And that was 4,500 RPM, second gear, now into third gear. And still the 997.2 retains that raw engagement feel to the steering wheel. It's got the hydraulic steering wheel, the brakes, acceleration. It all involves a certain level of an input from its driver. It's not computerized and robotic like the direction that some of the other manufacturers has had it towards. Porsche evolves as a brand slowly, bit by bit, improving it bit by bit. And that's, again, credit to Porsche for not rushing this incredible product that they have developed. They've evolved this product over so many years. And right now, if we're going to be talking about extra spec items, this has got the Sport Plus button and the PASM button. And then, of course, there's the Chrono package. And what I'd like to kind of explain in this part of the test drive is what the Sports button does. I will switch that on, put my foot down. And immediately the 911 becomes so much more responsive. And each gear, I mean, we're in third gear, 4,000 RPM, the gears just want to hold into that gear for as long as possible to get as much as you can out of that gear, engagement, sound, just that wow thrilling factor that comes out of it. And if you want to, we can use the buttons here to drop it to third. I'm not sure how much sound you can hear by watching the video, but certainly hear what a thrilling experience it is. And overall, it's this experience that has absolutely zero substitute. And that's why Porsche are so good at the product they make. This product holds value incredibly well. They don't depreciate like a Mercedes C63 or a BMW M3 or an M4, whatever it may be. And if I told you the kind of speeds I'm doing, you'd be surprised being able to do it on these roads in that gear and have that level of assuredness and control and engagement and overall fun and practical. And it's all these things combined together is what makes Porsche an absolutely spectacular car. And it's on this note, my friends, I'd like to not bore you any further, but end the aspect of this review where I'm talking about driving, handling, and all the reasons to want to buy a Porsche 911. And having come at this junction quite fast, finding these brakes that just works so well. I did actually forget to mention where the idea of the damper control system came in. Well, up until 2004, 2005, Porsche didn't really have a dynamic damper control system. Right? This is when they introduced the PASM button that you find here, the Porsche Active Suspension Management System, the damping control button. By pressing that button, what you essentially get in your vehicle is a car that is so driver focused and just is very aggressive, especially if you're going to be using it on a track. And from factory, the car is actually 10mm lower over the standard setting that you would normally find without PASM. It's a great technological evolutionary item that Porsche introduced and greatly enhances the overall feel, drive, and everything Porsche is all about. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And whatever money we make out of YouTube through the YouTube monetization program, we've got just over 4,000 subscribers on this channel and just under 3,000 subscribers under our other channel. We raise roughly about £300 a month, and that all gets donated to a UK registered charity. And so you watching and dedicating a bit of time to our channel goes a long way. And if you wanted to dedicate to them directly, you should donate via the link below.